Alright guys, welcome back to Stich Joe Talk CS episode 9. A couple notes. First of all, you may notice I'm in a different place. If anyone's watching my stream, this is the basement of my house, so I just didn't feel like moving my stuff, so I'm broadcasting from here. The other thing is we're trying to switch over to a weekend broadcast in lieu of my work, your work, and it's just more feasible to do so. So that's why we're doing it really quickly after the other one, and that's why it'll probably be a short one. Anything else to add to that, Joe? How has it been?
Good. I have my entirely new, brand spanking new setup here, thanks in part to a beer from the site. So, yeah.
Yeah, and thanks in part.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you can tell he has the new webcam. It looks much less uncucked. Actually, but uncucked is a compliment.
I'm most uncucked.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
as you can see from the text that I sent you at like 2 a.m. last night about the Capcom Cup, which you never responded to.
Yeah, because I didn't really care about the Capcom Cup, but yeah, I probably should have responded. My bad. Anyways, I already threw up the first little graphic, which just says, "Oh, by the way, I have the showing Chrome option now. I've got the hotkey; it works. I knew. So if we need to show something, I can do it.
We out here.
So let's just talk FNX right away. This isn't even the global scoop. Let's just talk FNX. A lot to say. Everything ranging from best practices in journalism to memes to Glock dropping to stand-ins. Maybe why don't we start from the news itself? It was suspected for a while that he was on the chopping block, right?
Yeah, I mean, going back at least a month, right? It had been said that SK were looking to bring in Phelps for FNX. And, you know, they obviously have had a dip in form. They took like a break due to Fur's surgery and then really have not looked. We've seen glimpses of them, like coming back to their peak form, but definitely not the like force that they were beforehand. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's well and fine, and the way you gave it to me was cut and dry. You know, we could have put you on an analyst desk, but let's talk the real juicy details. I mean, did he fuck Fur's girlfriend or what?
I am not in a position to say whether he did or did not.
I'm sure you saw that going around, though.
Yeah, no, I did see it around, and I know it looks like Fallen's Reddit account got compromised yesterday, which further added fuel to that fire.
There's a lot of fires burning in every single direction. It's kind of weird. It's like linking in all kinds of stuff. I saw just the latest update, literally 2 or 3 minutes before we started, was Elamau, or 13 minutes ago, had a screenshot of James Bardolph calling people who believe Fair's brothers Twitlonger retards, apparently. I mean, it could have been a doctor image, so take it with a grain of salt, but...
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that'll be... I did see that as well before we started, and I'm sure it'll be at the front page of Reddit by the time that we're done recording this.
Yeah.
So,
but take everything Lee Lamau says. Lee Lamau, also known as Decay's twin brother.
Rival.
No, twin brother. What are you talking about? He lives in the attic.
They're enemies, dude.
Really? I don't know. I don't follow like the war of leaking, so... But
and I'm like chaotic neutral in the middle, you know.
I have a theory that only betas talk about the like 9. What are they called?
What?
The like chaotic neutral, positive, chaotic.
Oh, like the alignments or whatever.
Yeah. Just like only beta females talk about use those 4 letters. You know what I'm talking about? Like INTJ here.
Oh yeah.
ENFJ here. Well, anyways,
it's immediate left swipe if you see that. For sure.
Yeah, immediately. All right, so yeah, the other aspect is of course Fox. I mean, we have Portuguese colleagues who are quite excited. I myself am mortified.
This is the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah. I don't really see him. I mean, it's like when he plays on Kick Old School and stuff, he plays really well, but I don't really see a role for him with Fallen opping that could work out so well. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I'm honestly surprised that, first of all, I do not expect this to be a long-term solution for SK. There's not room for a third op on that team. You know, you already have Fallen and Cold, which in some ways is like, what's the way to say this? It's a shame because there's a lot of good opping talent in Brazil that they could bring up if they wanted to go that route. But again, most likely they won't. But I am surprised that they're going with Fox, considering all the young talent that is available back in Brazil, and as well you have Pain, and Luminosity as well. Although I guess Luminosity wouldn't be eligible because they played in the league, right? So you can't use those guys.
So who can they, just tell us real quickly, especially for people who get confused by roster lock rules, who can they draw from for the major?
Well, we should start with ECS first, right? So ECS is the first issue, right, which is where they'll be using Fox. So as far as I'm aware, they can use anyone who didn't participate in the regular season.
Oh, okay.
So anyone that isn't Immortals and anyone that isn't Luminosity. So that's a pretty wide range of people. And as for the major, they cannot use any players from Immortals because they participated in the minors. Which again leaves them a wide breadth of people to choose from. Yeah. So even though they cannot use Phelps, though, I saw this going around on Twitter yesterday, which is accurate. They can't use Phelps in the major. That does not preclude them from acquiring Phelps for the major.
Right.
It would be a exact carbon copy of the situation that we saw when Astralis acquired KRB, and Astralis could not use KRB in the major, but Dignitas could use Cajun B because Cajun B had not played in any of the minors leading up to the major,
right?
Due to Astralis' legend spot. So it's one of those quirky
Valve rules situation.
And some would say horrible Valve rules. Yeah.
Yeah, some would say flagrantly offensive to human rights all around the world.
Well, let's not go that far, but definitely
close enough.
Do some workshopping.
Yeah. So, wait. I do have to point out that we have yet to hear we heard Fur's brother's side of the story, but we haven't heard SK, or did Fallen reply yet?
Fallen said he put out a tweet saying that it looked like his Reddit account had been compromised and that he would put out like a statement on it when the team was ready.
Right.
Which may or may not happen.
Right. I know there's a lot of animosity between SK and Thorin, and I just thought it was funny that I saw Thorin really quick to jump in and, subtweet Fallen as a coward. I'm sure you saw that. I know there's animosity there, just going back all the way to the shit show from Columbus, the monkeys thing. I don't think that ever died, despite, him apologizing. All right, so we'll be tracking that. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about it next week, and we'll see how Foxinho plays. Dat boy.
Yeah.
Glock boy. Really quickly in the Americas for the Global Scoop, the only thing I noticed was not even through HLTV, but just through scanning player transfers. CLG moved their analyst to a coaching role?
Yeah, Chet Amapet Singh moved from analyst to coach, which I believe was basically a change that had occurred already since Garrett's exit from the team. But they're just formalizing it. I believe he was standing behind them at Northern Arena, so I guess they liked whatever he brought to the team there. And again, we have this promise from CLG of, we have more announcements about our infrastructure changes coming soon. But, we've heard this from them multiple times and nothing has really materialized. So we'll see what happens. But
yeah. Well, we'll see if they we'll see if we will have another person we'll talk about as a actual coach. You know what I mean? There's coaches and then there's actual coaches, people who get known for their tactics, and people who just stand behind teams and hype them up, like a Stunna kind of guy.
Yeah, from from my understanding, he is very much more. He's the guy that was behind like a CS Gopher or one of those like stats sites. So he's
Hmm.
very into stats and that sort of a thing. And my understanding is that he has a lot of interesting, like quirky kind of set plays. He's a big fan of. So I think some of them. I know that Bardoff had tweeted out a couple times, like during ECS season, some interesting strats that CLG was showcasing. So that might have come from his noggin. So
Oh yeah.
maybe look forward to seeing more of that.
Well, yeah. I mean, the team as a whole are improving in their results. It's paying off. They didn't kick anybody yet, and I mean, it's looking all right. So over in Europe, biggest piece of news has to be Magic Boy won't make ECS finals. He's doing the right thing. The young lad prioritizing school over Counter Strike.
Yeah, respect to him.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, yeah, that's the right thing to do. When do you think, or has the stand-in been announced? I kind of looked for it briefly. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, no, nothing formally has been announced. They obviously have used Rugga in the past, standing in for Rubino when he had his like medical issues. They've also used SMF, so those could be two potentials right there. But I believe they're already in the U.S., right? So
yeah, they are, and I mean they found out I think in the plane that they qualified and they had to go to California. So
right.
yeah, I know Config tweeted something like, I believe we still can do a lot of damage with our stand-in, so maybe they already know who it's going to be. It'd be cool if it were a NA player, maybe a Muffin Lightning player, maybe some more Ichiban in your life.
That would be interesting, but I don't really see that happening, right?
Yeah, but he said he did. Sorry, I just wanted to say he did tweet like, I'd rather die than Rugga play for us. I mean,
did
he
he
said
really
that.
say that?
He did, yeah. And Rugga tweeted back like, that's harsh, bro. But yeah, it might. I mean, obviously that was a joke, but I guess that does imply that it will be a player, not the coach.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I'd be very surprised if they bring in a non-Danish speaker to play.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they work out a deal to get Zonic to come over and play for them or something.
Right. Well, anyways, yeah, it's an interesting time yet again in CS. We're gonna have this ECS finals again with teams in weird configurations, and we'll probably again have a weird winner. Let me quickly. Fuck.
Hopefully we're told the prize distribution.
No,
That's all.
that's not gonna happen. Let's face it. Wait, I'm just looking at the team list. All right, Immortals to win, knowing life, knowing how unpredictable things are.
Who knows?
Although they just won the minor, technically. Even though we just found out, apparently, it's hot, spicy news that the minor, America's minor, has no prize pool.
Yeah, thanks, Valve.
First time
That's all I'm
ever.
gonna say.
First time ever, I believe, that a minor has no prize pool. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could have something to do with why they're insisting on calling it the Americas qualifier, not a minor.
Right.
But everyone knows that it is a minor. It's very strange.
It is so strange. Like, can you even watch it in game? You know how you could watch every minor final in your region? I haven't even logged into CS today. Probably not.
Probably not.
Jesus Christ, they're just.
I have no idea.
What? Get your shit together, Valve. Like,
I mean, we've talked about this at length about the various problems that subcontracting out.
playing really badly.
You know.
My brother's sitting next to me. He just said, "I'm playing really."
I can see that now.
Yeah.
Professional. Nothing but professionalism here, boys.
Hey, it's fine. But I don't know why. I don't know why he's raging. He's in a public server. Anyways, oh yeah, I was gonna say, we were talking about how we like these weird online cups that are possibly fueled by Bulgarians stabbing each other in the third biggest city in Bulgaria. That's how the money gets going. But Esports Arcade TV Cup with 5K. It's gonna single elimination bracket, 6 invited, 2 qualified. Knowing how qualifiers run, we might see some cheaters make it very far. But
I actually have that bracket, I think, somewhere.
Okay.
Hold on, keep talking while I look.
Yeah. And the 6 invited teams are Rogue, LDLC, Penta, Tricked, Norse, and alternate Sucks, as I call them, but Attacks, as they're properly called. So yeah, if you have been sick of tier 1 pampered players playing and you want to watch some, and you're getting tired of our Asian fetishism, our Orientalism, you have a chance for another European online cup to satiate your needs.
All in all, not a terribly exciting event. what's interesting here is that this could be our first look at the new look attacks and penta rosters.
Right. Yeah. So that is. You know what? I'm gonna actually display it really quickly. Let's see. Let's just test if it works. Yeah, it did work. So check it out, guys.
Let's see. Oh, so the qualifier is it's down to the quarterfinals, I believe, and it's Tengri versus Copenhagen Flames and two mixed teams, Toxic and Pugs and Tadziki Kluben. Tadziki Kluben is, of course, a Swedish mix, oft-used Swedish mix, and I don't know what this looks like. This is a Belgian mix. So,
well, yeah, I mean, that's gotta love it. That's that kind of shit that we like. So 2.75K I think for the winner. So yeah, December 6th to December 8th, tune in, and that's how talent comes up. And like you said, we'll see the new attacks. And wait a second, what's the other one? The new lineup?
Penta, right?
Penta. No, are they invited?
Were they not?
Wait, no, I don't think so. Hold up. No, Penta.
No, they are.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, Speaking of
Penta, again, hot off the presses. Mike S confirming his removal from that squad. So Penta left with 1.5 players as of now.
A trial player, Stefan. We talked about this last episode.
Yep.
Crystal and Kakafu as the coach.
Yep.
Guy with a Polish last name, but an Austrian. So yeah, I mean, this is the lineup that keeps giving in terms of if you like just if you just like watching things fall apart, then that Penta is your thing. I mean, unless they have a backup plan right now, this very well could implode, and we could see a different team in this esports arcade cup. When you lose this many players, they could shut down the whole operation.
Yeah. Or they might just not have enough in place to actually play. You know, even if they maintain Crystal and Kakafu.
Yeah.
Kakafu. Whatever.
Kakafu.
I don't know.
All right, so there were... I do notice that there were... like Hayes left LGB female, but not much to say there. These two French players, Korea and Lucky, left Doge Esport.
I think it's Doge. I think it's literally Doge.
Okay. And then the only thing worth noting, which didn't get picked up by HLTV, and I mean, it is a little small scale, but Fixio, the match fixing band player, and Uzi and Biggie too.
Yep.
Yeah. Their team went from Oceania to this Owly 6. Is that a real organization, or is that just a mix?
This is a real organization, as far as I'm aware.
So, so Malik, their coach, or was he a player before he became coach?
Yeah, well, he's an old Source player who made his return with this Oceania lineup, and I guess very quickly realized that wasn't going to cut it there.
Just like the MTW comeback.
Yeah, so he moved over to coach, and they brought in Law, right?
Yeah.
To be their fifth. Yeah.
Who Law played at? Hold up! Don't spoil it. Didn't he play at WESG in Kiev? No.
No, I don't think so.
What did he play at? He went. We had a picture. It was one of the 7 players that Bercho didn't tag from an event. I was so pissed at him. We have his picture, but nobody's tagged him. ESWC. Yeah,
he was at ESWC with Red Instinct.
Yeah, and he wasn't tagged his player picture. And Bercho, I'm really pissed at you. You told me to do it, and you haven't, and now it's too late. And I think 2 Portuguese players and a few other guys. All right, this is the real content, boys. Not tagging random Portuguese players. So
inner website strife and turmoil.
Yeah. So, anyways, CIS region was quiet, settling in for the winter.
Yeah.
And over in Asia, actually, there's what piece of news I want to get to, but we can wait. So, first of all, MVP Project confirmed a new 5th. I don't think this got enough. I mean, I don't ever think Asian news gets enough traction, but I just thought it was hilarious. This guy, Timon.
Yeah, pretty big WTF moment.
Yeah, let me quickly throw it up. Why don't you just talk about where he's from while I throw it up?
Well, to be honest with you, this is actually one that stumped me as well. I've tried doing some research on him, and I've turned up Bupkis, basically. He apparently played with HSK previously, right? Is that what the article says? I believe that's what Alex said. Um, he has some
Yes.
history with one of the previous members of the current MVP project lineup, and he apparently has been functioning
HSK
as
and Jigen. I don't know how to pronounce that.
okay. Um, I believe it's pronounced sign, or
Oh.
at least that's how they were at the minor, but I don't know.
Jigen.
So he has a previous history with some of these players, and he's apparently been functioning as a backup for the last couple of months, although there was no announcement to that effect until recently. So I'm not sure. And I believe it was said that Sound was leaving for his military service,
Yes.
right? So,
Yeah.
so Korea's mandatory military service once again strikes a blow to a promising young Counter-Strike player.
Yeah. So there's people wondered why he left. Maybe it was the bad results, the not making WSG APAC, but it was military service.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I can't see this being a good thing for MVP project. I can only see them suffering a bit.
Yeah, I would predict their poor run of international results will continue, unless this guy is a fucking god.
Yeah, fucking nutter, like Timon and Pumbaa, and he just
Yeah.
goes on. All right, so the next thing is, we talked about this a bit on Wednesday, but probably one of the most hated events of 2016 because of how little information there is. And just like episode 7's title, yet another crazy Chinese tourney. WCA 2016 finals. After all the fucked up qualifiers, the Americas one where no North American teams played.
Yep.
Anyways, so 1.35 million yuan, so 196,000. Quite a lot for the team list, as I'll read it. Starts really soon, like 5 days. And Group A is Tyloo, VG CyberZen, Edward Gaming, the Chinese team, Immunity, Australians, plus New Zealander and Mongolian, G3X, Brazilians. Group B is Born of Fire, who, as we pointed out on Wednesday, had a lot of roster changes. Or was that Boot?
It was Boot actually,
my bad.
but Born of Fire,
Yeah.
as well.
I think something happened there. Then iGame, the Finnish team, the second best Finnish team. Although now it's like...
Yeah, who knows? I mean, yeah, well, just to detour slightly, did you see that statement that Ents put out, that press release?
No.
Ents basically put out a statement being like, we are evaluating like what we're going to do for 20... It was like the most press release ever. It's like, I don't know why you even bothered putting this out. Like, there was no meaningful information conveyed, which is kind of annoying.
Well, it sounds like everything Tommy has ever tweeted. Woo! All right, I'm kidding. Or am I kidding? Well, I'm kidding with the totality of that. But yeah, it's very Nordic, isn't it?
It's just confusing, but again, we might see more enlightenment on that if these Penta rumors are true. So,
right. So then 3X team, the other Brazilian team. Wait, why are they called 3X team? Who were they before?
They got signed by Innova.
Word. And then JYP, or as I'm going to call them from now on, JIP. Previously Fire Dragoon, previously MVP Carnal. This could be a really big event for them if you think about it. I mean, Tyloo, of course, favorites along with Epsilon, but and Epsilon is the final team. Sorry, another perennial European team that loves to go to China, just like Heroic.
They love it. Yeah,
those two, and Complexity. Add them to the list.
Yeah,
but
did you see there were some screenshots going around that made it look like Doplin is like with them in China?
Oh no,
I've not verified the authenticity, but
wait, are Epsilon already in China?
I don't know. I don't know if it was a doctored picture from one of their previous stints there, but Barbar was in it, right? Because when they were over there previously, there was Zelos, I believe. So, I'm almost positive. Yeah. So I don't know. I gotta dig deeper into that.
Yeah, you gotta verify that for me. Anyways,
those guys are very cagey though, historically.
Yeah.
Just like that particular lineup are very hard to get solid answers from.
About
anything. About the most innocuous things ever. It's like, hey, what do you have for breakfast today? Why the fuck do you want to know? I'm just trying to make conversation.
Well, definitely sounds like my experience sometimes trying to ask certain players for interviews who I will not name, but certainly get those sorts of people.
But definitely rhymes with.
What? I wasn't ready. I wasn't quick enough to think of a name there, but yeah. I mean, maybe one day I'll just like be drunk on one of the episodes, like, you know what? Fuck this player. Yeah, we should have shot. We could have recorded a live show last night because I came home at midnight from my holiday party quite drunk, and I was so festive and giddy. I was just talking so much shit.
That would have been rad.
Yeah.
Why didn't you answer my text?
I should. Yeah, you need to start coming into like the Discord I hang out with people. Then we'll get a real shit show going. But anyways,
talk about it.
Yeah,
Matter.
yeah. So yeah, Stitch official prediction. JYP to do more damage than people think. Maybe they'll make the grand final, but
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'm gonna put it out there. I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
I don't even know if they make the playoffs.
Okay, fine. All right, well, this will be our duel. All right. So very quickly, Tyloo are going to DreamHack Masters Las Vegas. They put down VG Cyber Zen, who, I mean, they went the mile on Dust 2. That seems like the VG map, kind of, from what I remember looking at their stats. But yeah, once again, VG just actually even more so than earlier, because we always talk about this. They had a little peak, and then after the Beta Award airport tripping fiasco,
it's never not funny.
Never not funny. Of Savage kind of struggling, and then we should point out that Rekka Bientet's boys, his little new thing, finished 3rd and 4th along with Signature. So if you look at these final standings of this qualifier, it's kind of the who's who of who's hot in Asia. Chiefs 5th through 8th. Like, once again, weird things happening with Australia. Did Atletico play there?
Well, Chiefs qualified over Atletico, and then Chiefs did not even wind up playing, and they couldn't. Well, they didn't qualify over Atletico. Atletico fell earlier in the qualifier. Okay. Chiefs beat Winter Fox for the spot, but then did not wind up playing.
They didn't play?
No, they did not play at all.
Do you know why?
Because they have to play with subs due to VAC ban players, and there were like personal, like they didn't want to fly to Singapore to play due to personal commitments. Yada.
Yeah, right. I forgot that they have to do that. The ping, and then 5 Power, another one of those teams that we'd like to talk about, and then Risky without Havoc and Mongols in 5th through 8th. Risky using Osman, the coach, right?
Well, they were using Osman, who's like their new 5th guy, and they also had a stand-in for Kit Kat. So they were definitely lacking some, I guess, cohesion.
So finally, this is the one that you would have guessed. More chaos, dude. What scene is more dead in the water than Japan right now?
Japan's in trouble right now. Japan's hurting.
So after everything we talked about from a few days ago, from Four Dimension disbanding or losing their org, and then Rascal Jesters disbanding. They had 2 teams, right? Absolute, yeah.
Yeah.
And then wait, hold on. Let me just find the last one just to be on the right side of the law. Or was that it? No. And then
Shoshi, they lost the Absolute lineup, and they lost the, yeah.
So Rascal Jester, their second lineup disbanded. The one with Daikon, Sasral. Those are the 2 names I recognize. Oh, and Dark Myeon. So yeah, what the hell is... I mean, not really an important scene, but yeah, I thought I'd make note. I think that's it for the Global Scoop.
I think so as well.
Yeah, so in the Who thing, I don't really think I have anything to say. I pretty much just went through the latest player transfers. I'll take a quick look at your Twitter. Let's see.
I mean, we're recording like fairly shortly after, so not a whole lot going on. I guess a good Who is that we've finally seen the faces of some of our heroes on Muffin Lightning, so that's cool.
Yep, Archimande, Ichiban, Akis.
Ichiban, yeah.
No,
well, Akis we've seen.
Yeah. Check this out. We've got a Who. You pointed this out on your Twitter 19 hours ago. It's 2016. We still have a Counter-Strike Online tournament happening.
Oh, yes. Classic.
In Taipei. It happened. Some team called Crazy won.
Yeah.
South Korean team. People still play this game. I even thought Counter-Strike Online 2 came out.
It did. Apparently no one likes it.
Oh, okay. So these are the 2 versions. that Valve sold the rights to Asian developer to make it popular.
Nexon, I believe. Yeah.
Nexon, to make it popular in Asia. You can have all kinds of weird skins, there's a microeconomy, right? Or
Yeah, there's a whole. I mean, like you can buy like actual like in better guns and stuff. It's kind of yeah. It's very much in the vein of like a Crossfire or like Wild Arms or there's some arms, I forget what it is, but yeah.
Oh my god, so this might have been the best South Korea's ever done in Counter-Strike, winning over Famous, who were Indonesian. Yeah. And a Japanese team finished 4th. Look at that. Well, anyways, yeah, Counter-Strike Online Counter-Strike Online had a offline event in Taipei for 40,000. I think it's hilarious. There were 2 English commentators, both of them being Americans at that.
Yeah, and they didn't really have any idea what was going on. So.
Oh, really? You tuned in?
Yeah. Well, I think it was just 2 guys. Like, I don't know where they found them, but there was like a lot of questions over the weird format of this event. If you go look at the brackets, it's like a disaster.
Okay, I might even just call this, make my title something about this. I think this is the best part of the episode that we're going to have. Yeah, so, yeah, the maps were Dust 2, Inferno, Aztec, Counter-Strike Online, Nuke, and Toscana, which I think is Tuscan, right?
I would assume so.
Dude, fuck yes. All right, so that's it, I think. I don't feel like going further down the list. But yeah, I mean, we pretty much are cleaning up shop in terms of like news. So I renamed Gambling Shady Spooky to just Shady and Spooky until gambling returns.
Yeah. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully, yeah. You and I are both fans. So the first thing is, it's a bit of a continuation of the FNX thing, but I just think it's. What do you think? First of all, like, do you think it's gonna be a meme? The finding out via HLTV org.
Probably.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that his tweet just got huge trending. But what do you think about the whole? What do you think about all the social media fighting? I didn't ask you in the first section, so I guess I could just say here.
So, like, the social media fighting in context of what? Because there's, like, a bunch of different fights that are happening. Like, you're talking about Lurpus's, like hill that he's ready to die on?
Yeah, sure, we can do that one. I actually wasn't thinking of that one, but we can do that one. And
I guess what do you want to do? We can do yours first.
Well, I guess we can do... What do you think is the deal with these leaks? How the hell did it get out so easily? Or do you actually know? How about this? Is it prudent to let an organization know without telling the player first?
No. Absolutely. Like, that's pretty easy.
Okay. Easy question.
Cloud9 just qualified for the major qualifier, so woo.
Definitely roster changes for TSM on the horizon with that.
Yeah, although I don't know, I believe there are roster locks, right, for ESA Premier, so I don't know if that's going to affect them. We might see them drop out of that. I'm not sure what's going to happen there.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, it's obviously bad form to, like, inform some other party that this is happening before, like, the actual person involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually one of the reasons why I am pro-leak, I guess.
That's why you're Decay's boy.
I'm just a generally personable person.
I'm chaotic neutral.
No, I'm a faggot. That's you.
Wow, I got so roasted.
Got him. No, I mean, like, someone should be holding these orgs accountable, like, for the way that they're, like, treating their personnel, right? And, like, there's a right way to do things, and if you're telling, like, multiple actors this news before the actual person involved, it's like very likely it's gonna get out or get back to them, and that's just a shitty way to go about handling business.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I agree. It's time to hold them accountable. First of all, ECS, face it, need to be held way more accountable for the bullshit way they behave with the prize pool distribution and a few other things too. I mean, they're definitely taking that whole idea of like opaquely run to not even ESL levels. ESL is not opaquely run. It's just poorly run, but it's not opaquely run. It's like, I know who the fuck ups are in ESL.
Everyone.
I don't know who the fuck ups are at ECS, so they need to really give us some punching bags, you know? Like poor. Sorry, we're all over the place with this Shady Spooky, but honestly, for some reason, it's so weirdly integrated this past 24 hours. Like, there's the Tommy with the journalism thing, and that somehow ties into like the Decay versus HLTV thing, and then the HLTV thing ties into Fur. So yeah, maybe that's why.
And then there's like a Milkcast like
that's what ripping
ripping on Prius, and then Thorin just comes in out of nowhere about ESL desk. It's like, whoa.
That's what I was gonna say. That's actually what I was gonna say. That poor Milkcast became the punching bag. It used to be the flying DJ. Flying no longer, apparently.
The grounded DJ.
I did notice that Thorin's tweet got deleted from Reddit because it was on the front page and now it's gone. So yeah, so he smashed Milkcast over the desks. Dude, everybody's just in a mood to start smashing. I mean, it really is Christmas spirit, right?
This is what I live for. This is good. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's unfortunate that kind of like Peter said, surely FNX had some inkling that there, not 100%. He definitely knew there were issues, and he was on the chopping block. But still, he should have been informed before the public at large.
Absolutely, yeah. And final thing on that note, so I'm a biased source because of my ties to HLTV when I talk about Decay's little fight with HLTV, and that Dot Esports editor also chimed in. Did you see that? Yeah. So I'm biased, so I won't say too much because it'll probably always be interpreted poorly. But yeah, I mean, wait, I was gonna say something about it, but then I lost my train of thought because I was trying to preface it to be. I was trying to preface it to be nice. Oh yeah, I understand the idea in journalism to understand the courtesy of leaking, but I do. It does seem that Mira got it from his own sources because he just moved in his own fashion, and yeah, it's unfortunate that Decay felt like he was slighted, but yeah.
Well, I have no idea the exact I know for sure that the HLTV article went out after the Slingshot article, right? Mm-hmm. So that is undeniable. So I know for sure Luis has his own sources, so I'm sure that he at least verified the Slingshot article. And so my opinion is that if he did that, but was prompted to do that based on the Slingshot article, then you should absolutely acknowledge the Slingshot article.
But here's the thing:
if it just so happens to be unfortunate timing where Fox messaged Luis and DK on Steam hey, by the way, this is happening, and then one happened to write faster than the other, and that's unfortunate. I have no idea what happened.
Well, I'll tell you one more thing. I mean, Luis has been around for, if there were a mathematical formula for how long Luis has been around compared to Decay, it'd be 13x or something. And Decay can put the minutes he's reported on esports into X and multiply by 13. Because Luis is early got frag. So he's just one of those old guns who doesn't really care about these so-called new conventions, He operates in a very saloon style of reporting, Here are his sources at the saloon, they tell him, and he's like, all right, fire this baby off. Anyways, I'm going back to Portugal, drink wine, and get drunk. Well, yeah. I do have to say, though, I don't know, the Casey's, I would tell him that on social media sometimes, I think he gets a lot of enemies from, random people because he's egging them on. You know what I mean? His choice of tweets are confrontational. If he likes it, sure. It's the Thorin Richard Lewis style, isn't it?
No such thing as bad press, right?
Yeah. It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just hope he knows he's doing that. There's nothing worse than somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. ESL.
I would agree with that.
All right. Anyways, the other
or
thing.
Valve.
Yeah. So the other thing is Thorin going 0-7 in predictions. I didn't give a fuck, but I think he has so many haters now that people were so happy to celebrate about it.
I think it's honestly pretty ridiculous in the context of this event. Show me one fucking person that actually had this bracket correct. No one did. Mm-hmm. I got 3 out of 4 right in the quarterfinals, but then was completely shut out for the rest of the event. So, no one saw the way that this bracket would unfold. So I obviously know that people are gonna enjoy like taking the piss out of Thorin because he's a very polarizing figure, but like,
No,
you know,
he
whatever.
definitely once he was like 0-4, he started to run with it and do it on purpose. That's obvious. He just
Yeah,
kept putting him out. Like he knew what he was doing.
yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
all just feeds like the monster cycle. Like he is a master manipulator. I gotta hand it to him.
Yeah, absolutely, and it builds his brand. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I just thought I did. Like someone had a smart comment on Reddit. They said it's not the correctness of the prediction; it's the reasoning that goes into the prediction that makes it a good one.
absolutely, absolutely. It's very much like DDK is one of the people that talks about this most often during casts, where he talks a lot about plays plays or economic decisions that are optimal versus non-optimal, and even if your non-optimal play results in a positive outcome, that doesn't mean that it was the right one. You know
Right.
what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's the same thing here where there is like based on data and patterns, like you can come to a reasonable prediction, but that's the problem with predictions. Predictions are based on the past, not what actually is going to happen.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course. I mean, the
so
present is unpredictable. So
yeah.
yeah. Oh wait, I just did who? How that? Oh God, not again.
Oh no.
All right. Recent tournaments. Big news here, boys. Optic, Lucas's boys, my boys too, kind of, but many other people's boys. I mean, I don't claim any ownership of.
Call of Duty's boys.
Yeah, Optic winning Elite Season 2. Pretty pretty spectacular. Definitely the biggest achievement for all 5 of these players.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, a nice capstone on the Cinderella story that is Mixwell's rise to prominence, and also
And,
kind
and,
of
and Tariq's resurgence, right?
yeah. I was about to say a refresher for Tarek because he was almost about to get put into the skeleton closet, but this
Yep.
definitely brings him back to the forefront. Yeah,
Yeah.
so crazy shit. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I did a look back because someone tweeted me asking if this is like the biggest upset like in a 250K plus tournament, and I looked back like through 2014, and yeah, I mean, with the exception of Fnatic at that first major and like possibly VP with their win at Katowice, this is unquestionably.
All right, guys. So Joe, the doorbell rang. I wanted to spare your ears, so welcome back.
My bad.
Apparently, apparently, there's more people who weigh under 100 pounds and are living in his place. I thought it was just him.
We got the Steelers on in half an hour, dude. We got the people coming over.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Yeah, we got Desi coming, big Steelers fan.
Derek
So,
Branchen.
Derek Desi Branchin, North America's ringer.
Oh, okay. I've decided, even before Lucas, our first person who will be on the show, which might never happen. No, I'm kidding. If I put more time in, we can make it work. But it's gonna be Desi. So Desi, please call me.
I mean, I wish you would have talked to me about that before telling everyone, but
No,
sure.
I'm kidding. I just made that up.
I would be so down for that, though. I think we can make it happen.
I think we've had really pleasant interactions on Steam. So, well, in
Yeah,
any
that
case,
could be a fun one.
yeah. So Optic winning 400 clams or 400,000 clams, as they say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
sorry, you can finish what you're gonna say, but just happy for Astralis, but also kind of sad, if that makes sense.
yeah, those poor Danes. They just can't catch a break.
They
Yeah, I
free
mean,
them.
happy,
Yeah,
happy
they.
for Optic though.
Yeah. Well, because they freed themselves from all the people who used to body them, and then here comes along,
Yeah, here comes along this new guy that you think you're just gonna be able to smash, and nope.
yeah,
Uh,
NAF having a sick performance, like plus 33, I think,
yeah,
and 1.5. Oh my god, that's a really high rating. And then obviously Rush, he was MVP, right?
yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, there's a lot more to talk about, I guess, but I mean, it'll probably be talked about by the more player-oriented shows than us, since we do more
Mhm.
news. But yeah, just talk about his rise to form, Stanislav's consistency in calling, Mixwell just being stable. Tarek has had a resurgence, but I would still say he's not fully giving all that he could to the team. Don't you think so?
How so? You just mean that
Statistically, I think I don't know what kind of role he plays, but I look at his stats and they're not like super hot for he's. It's probably because of the narrative, and we've talked about how we hate narratives because they lead to bad, poor analysis. But of him being like a superstar, which just isn't the case anymore.
I mean, I think he's been a solid player for sure. For them, has certainly elevated them, like taking them over the hump of where they were.
Oh, he played well against FaZe, yeah. So I see that. Just not well in the grand final.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't a detriment to them, obviously, or at least not enough for them to lose. So
Yeah, hold on. Let me just quickly see. No players. How do I see players? God damn it.
I mean, interestingly enough about Optic, though, they are another one of those teams where they have a lot of capable offers on that team,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Mixwell, obviously, NAF capable offer. A lot of people don't remember, but Tarek was like way back on Mousepaz, like he was the op on that team, you know, or at least one of them. So like he's very, very capable. I know that on the broadcast, they talked about, you know, ridiculing him for his confidence in his op, you know, like a couple months ago. But
Yeah. Somebody got the kettle running at your place again? Oh no.
It's the radiator.
That's right. Oh, that's right. I keep calling it the kettle. Yeah, this is what I meant though. He had the lowest rating on his team for E-League Season 2 overall, 1.09. But anything 1+ is still good.
Yeah, I think he'll take that. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the W.
I don't think he'll be upset.
I'll take the W. You take the L, Astralis.
Rip.
Yeah. So the only other thing to say is FaZe continuing their good form. This could have been their tournament if they played better. This could have been the one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, very surprised. I mean, especially after that VP series, was very surprised to see just a completely different FaZe show up against Optic. Disappointed for sure, but hopefully they can take that in stride and continue this upward trend.
Yeah, big tournament of surprises though. I mean, in fifth, look at the teams in 5th through 8th place: Dignitas, Virtus.pro, NIP, Mouseport. So basically, a graveyard of Thorin's favorite teams, aside from NIP.
Right.
And SK, despite all the drama, did manage to retain 3rd through 4th. So.
Yeah. I mean, you have Navi not even making it to the playoffs, right? So Navi, C9, teams like that.
Yeah. All right, boys. One more thing about E-League. Don't forget, unless something changes, this is it for CSGO at E-League. I'm not counting the major, because there have been not only Craig Berry, my interview, which I already have mentioned, so I'm not going to say it again, but I think Burr Bunny, right? She had something where wanting to talk about distancing the E-League brand from CSGO. So probably next year we're going to see some shitty game, and we're going to see E-League streams with like 10,000 viewers, but whatever they want to do.
It's a huge mistake in my mind, and it's going to be a loss for them and a loss for this community as well, if that is really what happens. I really, really hope that they will continue to... This fucking light is insane. I really hope that they will continue to do CS in some capacity. And, you know, if they want to dabble with fucking Overwatch or, like, Rainbow Six...
That game is so shit, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. I really think it's shit. I, like, watch it and I'm like, fuck, this game is terrible.
Not happy about it, man. But, yeah, I really hope that... I mean, just, like... That's not how people's brains work, right? The quote from her is that I want people to tune into E-League and just like, oh, like whatever game they're doing, like I'll just watch that. Like, no, like that's not. They wouldn't take that philosophy and do it for like an actual sport. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't be like, oh, like TBS, like we have incredible coverage of like baseball and fucking basketball. So like now let's take tennis and let's just hope that people are gonna watch now. Like no, the people are watching because of what you're covering, and you happen to do it very well. And you might cover this other thing very well, but like this other thing is something that no one fucking cares about.
I just saw the light pop off.
Yeah, it's been going like. It's
All right, well, yeah, I agree with you. Or it's like if you tune into your Sunday broadcast of your NFL game and they're like, well, actually, first we want to show you this little minor league game where we have the kids play. and because the players are just tired, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? I want to watch goddamn football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand from a brand, like, from their brand why they would want to do it, but I don't think it's gonna, like, I think they will be sorely disappointed by the results if they do. Because almost certainly no one who is like, no one who is going to HLTV, like, to look at stuff is gonna be like, oh, herp derp derp, you guys are doing StarCraft now? Sick, let me watch. Like, no.
Anyways, yeah, so we might as well. Well, let's close down. Just want to say it. Immortals and Cloud9 through the qualifier. So the fucking crazy ass stacked major qualifier is NIP, Dig, Tyloo, Godsend, Optic, Envious, Renegades, Hellraisers, Mouse Sports, FaZe, Vegas Squadron, Lel, Immortals, CLG, Lel, G2, Spirit, Lel, Cloud9. So
yeah, it's gonna be wild. And we will be. Well, I will be there.
I won't be there
to enjoy it.
I'll miss you guys when you're there. All right, and finally, very quickly, in case you were interested, guys, iNation, the Serbian team, won a LAN, the Vital Bet Balkan Pro League finals over second best Turkish team, Dark Passage, who has our boy Calix, who we're big fans of.
Yep. Who had a nutty 5 headshot ace. In that grand final, I believe.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
Not enough to carry his boys through.
Yeah, so iNation pocketing 2.5k, Dark Passage 1.5, Romanian team Nexus $750, which is enough to buy a house in Romania, and Outlaws. I hope I don't offend our one Romanian viewer. I actually have heard great things about vacationing in Romania from Poles. Anyways, Outlaws Bulgarian team, which is I've never seen these guys. That's crazy.
It's the old Win Fiction lineup.
Oh,
so
okay.
You have seen them.
Okay.
And they've been playing a lot recently. So
yeah, just thought I'd point that out that iNation maybe we'll see some of them, but
surprising outcome, especially considering that iNation just replaced Flash, the Hungarian player, with Nexa. That the Serbian who was turning heads at WESG on Guerrilla Method.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that move seems to be working out for them. So yeah, look forward to see more from those guys.
Yeah, so hopefully we get this next one popping off next weekend, which we'll be talking WCA finals. We'll be talking ECS Season 2 finals. And probably some more shit will go down. Hopefully another big CSGO update. I enjoyed seeing one that made some changes to Dust 2 and Train. Because I actually played it and I noticed some of them. Oh, I just wanted to say I was feeling festive. Not on Friday, not Saturday, and I bought 5 glove cases to try to get the gloves, and I did not. But I got a USP Cyrex, and I sold it for $12 on the Steam Market. So that's all there's.
Before we break, one thing that I just thought of that I want to discuss with you about your thoughts, right? So basically, the major qualifier, right, is like the end of 2016, right, as far as we're concerned. And then the actual major is like the second event of the year. Like coming out of the player break. What do you think about that? Do you think it's going to be an issue? Like, I can very much see that we're going to be seeing some shitty looking CS at the major.
Absolutely. It's everything's felt so weird ever since the August break.
Yeah.
It feels like the world, like if you read sometimes on literary criticism, there's like a comment about like medieval literature where there's something called like the Fool's Day, the world turned upside down, the world out of sync, and it's like where the roles of everything get reversed. So this is kind of what it feels like in CS. I mean, everything's just feels out of place. It feels like a weird alternate reality version. So yeah, I think it'll continue until after the major, until after another big overhaul, and yeah, that's how it is. Sorry, my brother's quietly raging. Yeah, and by the way, the next show I will be back in my room with no distractions.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, so I just kind of thought of that, and that could potentially be problematic, I think.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back. We'll be back.
Later.